going good?
I don't know. Let me make sure.
Recording.
Yeah, Jesse's
Yeah.
I'm 100%
I was just
sure
about
if
to
I
ask
touch it, I'll
that,
ruin it.
Garrett.
he's trying to do it on his phone, but it's not letting him
Oh,
do the app. So
Jessie.
We're good. Hi guys.
What's going on, guys?
You doing
How you
it?
doing?
Hello.
We are doing.
We're
live.
Nice.
We're like on YouTube right now, and like all kinds of stuff is happening. People are hearing this.
But who are we live with?
The Higgs.
Gentlemen, take it away.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Let's start up in the top left corner.
I don't think they have
You
the
guys
same
are-
lamp as
Oh,
you
yeah,
do.
they don't.
Yeah. You guys do it. You can figure it out. What do you see?
Is that me? Am I on your top left?
Sure.
Sure. Cool. Hi, this is Dave Barsky. I play bass with the Higgs.
Right on, dude. Good to have you.
It's good to be here.
And
What's going on? I'm John Lavero, guitar player, singer for the Higgs. Glad to be here. Lover of No Simple Road podcast.
Aww. And I love that little cute Jerry Garcia right next to you.
He's rocking your swag over here.
Oh
Right
my
on.
gosh. Well, that's ironic and beautiful.
and last but certainly not least,
I'm Garrett Morris, drummer of the Higgs,
hi guys.
and this feels like Hollywood Squares.
It totally
I
does.
love Hollywood Squares.
And who Jesse was not able to technologically
Technical
get into
difficulties.
this.
Get his shit together.
He may be popping in with us.
I hope
second
so.
up, but he may not, but he may.
We had talked a few weeks ago and talked a little bit about the album, and I want everybody out there to know that Higgs have a new live album out. Rose Will Fall. Where'd the name come from, first of all?
Actually, it was a concept our buddy had, mixtape. So, like, I don't know, like my sister when I was a kid had all these. She would make these like cassette tapes of different artists she liked, and I would steal them from her and play them and like learn about all these new bands and stuff. And so the concept came from that, taking live music, different songs from our live shows, putting them together, and creating our own mixtape. So it's Rose Will Fall Mixtape.
That's really friggin' fun and cool. Do you remember when you were younger, like did you ever have a tape recorder? Right? Just like little, and then you press record and then you either sing into it or you like hold it up to the speaker and record it. And like, that was awesome technology. It was like it got you involved in the music making process and storing it, like being a historian of it. So like whoever comes along has like Metallica and Danzig and like Bobby Brown, all of this in the same one.
I remember,
which is
like,
so
Remember
fun.
we had to call it. We'd call into the radio station. Remember that?
Yeah. So
In
I was just
the
gonna say.
early 80s.
Asked to play songs.
So
And you'd have to sit there by the radio waiting for him to play your request so you could get the whole song.
Mhm.
And then you were the cool kid because you got it before anybody. It's like, I got AC/DC Back in Black on cassette, man.
Well, the whole mixtape thing is awesome because it's like if you were making somebody a mixtape or making it for yourself, it was really intentional. And it was something that you really cared about every song that was on there. And it kind of told a story if you were being romantic or not, like I remember making
you can make a tape
junior
for
high.
somebody.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
junior high. Hey, I made this for you, babe.
So where was all this recorded for the album? Was it all at the same place, the same show, or was it different stuff?
There were about 4 different venues that we pulled from, and we just kind of took versions of songs that we liked, threw them together, and we call that the Moon Tower Soiree.
Ooh, I like that.
Moon Tower. Party at the Moon
You
Tower.
definitely want to dress up for it.
Party at the Moon Tower.
And
All right.
is it all original or is there covers on it?
This is actually the first time we've released an album with some covers on it.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, some Floyd, some the band.
There's a band cover on there?
Yeah, Don't Do It's on there.
Oh, okay. didn't know that was a band song.
Actually, who did the original of that?
Oh yeah, we do it in like the styling of the band, but
I think it was an Al Green tune.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
I'm not mistaken.
We need
Pretty
a
sure it's Al
fact
Green.
check.
Fact check. I do that. This is like Hollywood.
Totally. So we're gonna do something different. I wanted to talk about the album because I want people to listen to it. I want to download it. I want to buy it, help you guys out. But I want to do something different because we've had you guys on the show. People have heard from me, but I had an idea, and I'll start it. Okay, it's gonna be kind of cheesy, but it's like thought exercises. It's something to help you think. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to ask, and I want to start with John and then go to Garrett and then David, okay? So that we don't get confused. In your life, music is a huge thing. Obviously, you've dedicated everything to that because it matters to you. Something happened in your life that made you decide that you wanted to be a musician. And if you're like me, and you guys were all a lot alike, when you're tripping out, when you're having a hard time, when things are good, music is the thing that you go to for healing, for all of it, right?
Company.
Yeah. So in life, there's certain songs that hit you. And if you had to pick one song that like told your story, you can only pick one, okay? It can be yours, it can be somebody else's song, any of it. So like what I mean is,
Oh yeah, Jessie.
Go, let him in.
Hold
Hang
on.
on.
You're gonna have
You
to
got to push on it. Yeah, there you go, Apple.
Hey.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
special guest.
What's
Jesse
up?
Jackson.
Welcome, Jesse.
He's connecting to his audio.
Oh.
Hey, but before you finish that question, Marvin Gaye actually performed "Baby Don't Do It" first, and it was written by Holland Dozier and Holland and Dozier. I remember I had to look this up when we put it on the record because he had to give the artist credit.
All right, our facts are straight.
What's up, guys?
What's
Jesse,
up,
what's
Jesse?
happening?
Jesse.
All right, so Jesse,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
see Jesse. Where is he?
bring you up
We
to
have to
speed.
see how Jesse's doing first.
That's what I was just doing. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, dude. Just actually doing a lot of kid stuff. That's why I was late to the meeting. I'm actually on my cell phone. Can you see me okay?
Yeah. Where are
Cool.
you, Park?
You guys look beautiful.
Oh, thanks, man. You too. Check it out, man. This is what we're up to. I'm just started asking a question. We're gonna go around the room and get everybody's answer. We're gonna start with John, go to Garrett, Barsky, and then you. So, like, if there was one song that told your story, what would it be? So, like, for me, out of all the music that I've listened to, if I could pick one song that would like, okay, that's my thing, I have to go with Hendrix. Have you ever been to Electric Ladyland? Like that song did something for me, and
Are you experienced?
yeah, like that stuff feels like me to me when I listen to it, if that makes any kind of sense. So that's where I'm going with this. So Don, go ahead. For you, what would it be?
Ooh, that is such a tough question.
Yeah.
That is such a tough question. You know, I really relate to War Frat a lot, because of the story of like this guy who's kind of like wandering and like on his own path and kind of becomes disconnected from society.
Right.
And then he's like speaking to someone who like obviously has more of a connection with like a normal way of life and like a normal way of like living in society. And then this like conversation starts, and it's almost like it's like an internal conversation. Like it could be one person having a conversation with himself, and just like the contrast in like darkness and beauty in that song just kind of like represents life so well. Wow. Just like how you could feel so disconnected, but someone could like easily just like bring you back in and give you hope. And I feel like that's what that conversation is. It's like a man who's lost, distant from society, and then someone who's much more connected coming in, listening to his story, and then entertaining it and then telling him like at the end of the song, like basically like his love still remembers you and maybe we'll come back one day. And it's just it's really powerful. I really relate to that.
That was a beautiful fucking answer. That wasn't a hard question for you. You nailed it.
Thanks,
That's
man.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Ding, 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 or an answer square number.
Yeah.
All right, next.
So I'm gonna have to go with "Stairway to Heaven" by Led Zeppelin.
Really?
It's just like when I first heard that in high school, I was like completely blown away. And the drums don't come in for what, like 6 minutes or something. But when they come in, it's like so powerful. And then, you know, the message too, like, I'll read the last, I pulled it up real quick. The last paragraph. And as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our soul, there walks a lady we all know who shines white light and wants to be and wants to show how everything still turns to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last. When we're all one and one is all, to be rock and not to roll. And she's buying a Stairway to Heaven.
Wow.
So sick.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, songs like that, I heard that growing up my whole life. I learned to play guitar.
Hey, Jesse, I think we're getting some wind from your speaker.
Should I
so
mute?
if you
Should I
could
mute?
mute.
All right, hang on.
There we go.
Perfect.
Thank you, John. They can become like
I'm like a grandfather over here. I try to like get the app. I don't know what I'm doing. There's like some dude. Listen to me. I'm not kidding. I shit you not. When I was trying to download, I was like, oh my god, it's the meeting, you know. And then then it wasn't working on my phone. They're like, oh, you got to download the app. So I started doing that. It's like taking forever for some reason. Then some like homeless dude slowly walks over to me and hands me this bag, and I take the bag, and he walks away, and it's like these nasty like baby diapers. Like, the stench was, dude. The stench was amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what is this? What is this moment?
Why did you take? I have to know why you took it. Yeah,
I thought we weren't going to have to make any edits on this video.
it's okay.
You're not editing out the baby diapers.
No, absolutely
That's
not. You didn't answer the question. Why did you take the bag?
I've already shot the load. Dude, I've already shot the load. It's like George Costanza. I'm out. You know? That's it. Nice to see you guys.
You'll never know, Ryder.
Okay.
It's like, why is 42 the answer to the universe? It just no. Songs like that can become. You don't listen to them after a while. It becomes like white noise because you've heard it so many times. But when you sat and you read that, that's intense. Like, okay, I get it. Totally. Varsky, you're up.
You know, I'd probably have to put like maybe like 20 Dylan tunes tied as number one. Because pretty much like most Dylan tunes just like resonate with me on some like hardcore level. I just love that shit. Dylan's my number one. So you know, all of like Blood on the Tracks, that whole album's amazing. So Tangled Up in Blue, all that. Love that.
All right. Jesse's pondering.
Is he frozen? Oh, he might. Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Unmute yourself. You gotta unmute, Grandpa.
You're muted.
Hey, you're muted.
So this right now is my life.
Right
There you are.
Because now see how down it's gone?
You're good. You're good. So it's your turn, Jesse.
I think he's muted again.
I'm gonna say, great question. It's gonna be Pink Floyd. I say The Wall. My uncle was living at our house and going to college when The Wall came out, and I was probably like, I don't know, I'm guessing like 7 right now, but and we went to the super late shows, like when they still had movies at like 11:30 at night. So I was like, whoa, I can just stay up late with my uncle. And we went to the show, and we went to the movie, and like, you know, I didn't even know what I was seeing. You know, it was just, I just knew it was this wild thing. And when we left, my uncle was like, Jesse, do you realize what we just saw and what that band just did? I was like, we know what? He's like, dude, that's going to change everything. He's like, that record is going to change the world. And in a way it did, because it really opened up people's consciousness. And I mean, just just years later, the Cold War ended. So, and I think that album literally changed people's consciousness. So I'm gonna say The Wall.
Wow.
That's awesome. I remember when I first saw that movie because I think my mom was suspicious that I was smoking weed because this was like when rental stores were still available. You could go to like a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video and rent stuff. She came home one night for me with Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Pink Floyd The Wall. So that's why I'm pretty suspicious that she was suspicious that I was smoking weed. She was trying to facilitate some entertainment for me. So I watched that movie stoned out of my mind, and I will never forget that. It was like on a little tiny TV in my room, like one of those like combo TVs with like the VHS player and everything. And like, oh man, just such a phenomenal movie. And it's historical. Like you learn things about history in that movie. It's
I still have the DVD somewhere.
Wow.
There's certain albums like that, man, that are like,
I don't know how many times we watched the movie.
Totally. That are like define a generation kind of thing. And The Wall is definitely one of those that like, that for me is like, it represents a certain period in my life. That thing, I listened to that thing so many times, I fucking wore the grooves out on the vinyl. Like,
wow. David Gilmour is just incredible. I was just watching a show from '89 that he did just like last week or something.
Yeah.
It's like the production level on that show is just insane.
Yeah, and even
like you could just listen to Gilmour play guitar by himself for an hour, and that would be entertaining. It's incredible.
Awesome.
So, Apple, what's your answer?
Right said Fred, I'm too sexy.
Yes. Hell yes.
I love that catwalk.
Actually, I'm going to play out what Jessie said because and it's hard to say a song. It's like Pigs on the Wing, but the entire Animals album. I mean, it breaks down society. And Gilmour's guitar work on that is some of my favorite.
Actually, Gilmour didn't play on that album. They had a studio musician come in and sub for him.
Yeah, his name was Janky Jenkins.
Really cool. Just kidding. That's a joke. That's an inside joke with the Higgs. It's not true.
Okay.
It's a joke pointed at me, just so you know. As many of the jokes are in the band.
Commonly.
Yeah, that's it for me. I could put that on anytime. Happy, sad, whatever. That as soon as I hear the first note on that album, I leave here and go there.
Yeah.
I'm too sexy or Animals?
Actually, both.
Oh my
and then,
gosh.
okay, then at Christmas time, Santa's gonna throw one. I listen to it all year long, at least once a week. I put it on when I go to sleep. Frank Sinatra's "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" is one of my fucking favorite songs ever since childhood.
Are you sure you're not a serial killer?
Frank Sinatra's is the best.
Oh, that's true. Okay, you're allowed. You look like Santa. That's fair.
Yeah, I kind of have a rule, like when it's Christmas time, like only Sinatra Christmas music. Like that's it. I don't know. Like Mariah Carey's cool, and like all that other stuff is cool too. But Sinatra Christmas music is the best.
100% agree. Bing Crosby and others, people are like, it's like they come close, but nobody does it like Frank.
Sinatra all day.
Well,
yeah, I would have loved to see some real crooners back in the day, man.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
Like in Vegas.
When I was a kid, I thought that was like the worst music. When I was a kid.
No, that shit's awesome.
But I mean, I totally get it now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Bruno Mars on this.
Really?
Yeah. That song came to me at a pivotal time, 24 Karat Magic. Just like you listen to the lyrics, it's super pop and whatever, but it's like a point of like reaching a height within yourself to me. And so when I listen to that, it makes me happy on all levels. It makes me want to dance. It like kind of is like a personal anthem. So there's that.
Okay. I was expecting something like that.
Yeah.
From you.
We should make a Spotify playlist with all these songs.
We totally should. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Mine would be Green Valley by Pucifer. It's just it's about like.
Can you say that again?
Green Valley by Pucifer.
Oh, cool.
Not familiar.
It's just about like bringing yourself to whatever trial and letting it guide you. Like it's shaped. I guess it's kind of shaped how I approached psychedelics before I even took psychedelics, and through that kind of shaped how I live. Whatever happens.
It's a great song. We play it every time.
Every time you trip,
Every
you
time I
listen to
trip,
that song.
I put it on. Yeah.
But at the end of the night, I know it's almost bedtime. Ryder puts on Green Valley.
Yeah.
Landing gear.
Okay. So
What are you going to do with that information?
I'm going to make a
Mr.
Spotify playlist.
I want to listen to that when we hang up, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said in the beginning, music is this like healing thing, and
It is the healing.
yeah.
thing. Not the only, but like it is like a alpha.
So, but everybody has a different idea of what the job of the musician is. Some people think that a musician's job is to entertain. Some people think that a musician's job is to write good songs lyrically. Some people think that a musician's job is to make good music. Like, and I know it can be all different things, but let's do the same order again, okay? So if you had to boil it down to one thing, like, what is the mission of the musician?
I like that.
For me,
I think the mission. I think honestly, the mission has changed throughout my life, because as it evolved and as I evolved and became, in a way, smarter or more wise, I understood that, and that music is truly healing. I could have the worst day ever, and come to practice, and then and within like the first few bars, I'm already like in a great mood. It's immediate. So I would say that for sure. But at first it was to get the chicks, babes.
Jesse, is there anything else you can think of at the top of your head that makes you feel like that immediate mood change and happen like that?
Well, yeah, a couple things. Like with it sounds cheesy, but like when my kids smile, and it's like, or they like have a genuine laugh from their gut.
That's
like
not
insane.
That's fucking
yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
And sex.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's great.
And
pie.
from Walmart.
Cherry pie.
So for me, before I got turned on to the dead, I thought the mission of the musician was for entertainment. And then I got turned on to the dead, and my whole life changed. And for me, music became a learning instrument. It became a way for me to find expression of those parts of myself that I couldn't normally get out. And those emotions and stuff that were inside of me that I couldn't express, music was expressing that for me. And so the mission of the musician became expression of my inner parts by somebody else. So that's my answer. How about you guys?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Since we're all out of order now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of order.
Garrett, I love how you just
We
play
do.
with whatever comes along. So fun about
He's
you.
the drummer.
I know. That's why I love you so much.
I love you too. So I think first and foremost, we're entertainers. We're on stage to entertain. People come, pay money to be entertained. And then a byproduct of that is having fun and giving and receiving joy. My ultimate goal is to experience joy and to give joy to other people. So those are my main things.
I love that.
Wow.
That's a good answer.
That was great. All right, who's going next?
Barsky.
Barsky?
Yeah, what is music? I mean, it's gosh, it's I don't know. John, why don't you go first?
The musician's job. What is it?
If I had to boil it down to one thing, yeah, I would have to honestly, before Jesse even answered that, I was already going with healing. That was my one word that I was thinking of. So I'm just going to have to second that.
Okay.
And I kind of just got led into music because of that too. I didn't really start appreciating music until I reached a point in my life where I started to feel pain and started to struggle, and I found music as like this thing that would make me cry these beautiful tears of joy when I needed it so bad. And it was just an escape for me, something that I could always look to and something I can still look to today to bring a certain type of comfort that is just needed in human life. And yeah, it's like at a certain point in my life, I agree with all the answers, by the way, too. I think it's for fun. I think it's for entertainment, but yeah, healing. I'll just stick with that.
You know, I would say it's like, you know, people write songs, you know, kind of based on what they're going through in life, you know, whatever it is, for better or for worse. And when you hear kind of how other people are experiencing life and how they're interpreting what's happening to them, it just kind of helps you kind of look at what's happening in your life in different ways.
That's a trip, man.
But I'd also like to add, you know, I believe joy is healing. Having fun is healing. It's not ignoring your problems, but recognizing them, being able to deal with them.
Dude, I was just saying this yesterday, exactly. Like, Mel and I were taking a walk, and like my dad passed at the end of last year, and I had never experienced like the loss of a parent, and was pretty tore up, and didn't have like a frame of reference to know like what I was going through. I knew I was sad, and like I knew that it hurt, but I didn't have any like way to process it in my head. Like my metabolism couldn't digest it. And we went and saw the Mike Gordon band, and the very first song, I was super high, and they came out, and the first note, like the bass hit my chest, and I was like, oh my God, I'm grieving. And like just that thought of like, wow, I'm feeling grief, and the music hitting me, it released all this like pent up shit in me, and I could move forward. That joy healed that grief in that moment because of the music. Simple. And it was awesome. And just that thought of like, wow, this is what I'm feeling, and then having all that joy around me made it okay. That's the power of music. Straight up.
And you go to a Fish show, they're they're entertaining, like especially on Halloween. Like I think some of their idols were like James Brown and Prince and like David Bowie, like big entertainers who would put on shows.
And Frank Zappa.
And Zappa, yeah.
They took so much from him. It's amazing.
Yeah. And not to mention those guys, when they're on, that is like joy distilled.
Absolutely.
It's like
I had to throw something in there because you guys are down in the area. Have any of you guys started the Laurel Canyon?
No.
It's like an hour from my house.
It's on Showtime or HBO, but I think it's 4 or 5 parts, but it starts out Laurel Canyon in like the mid 60s, where everybody has the mamas, the papas, the monkeys, and all of them move in, and the Byrds, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young, all that whole movement that came out of that. And the first one in the neighborhood was Frank Zappa. He was already living there before anybody. Everybody moved in around him and had interviews with there. It's amazing.
Awesome. Lil George was in The Mothers of Invention, like what, 67 to 68 from the band?
Yeah.
Or not the band, sorry, Little Feat. And then I heard Frank Zappa kicked him out because he said, "Start your own band. You're too good."
No, what happened? I got this from Jay. Okay, so Jay, you guys know who Jay Starling is? He's from Fredericksburg, my hometown, and he's like in the bluegrass scene. His dad is he just passed away a year ago, but his dad is a really, really famous Grammy-winning bluegrass guy, and he was Lil George's best friend. Like how me and Christian are guys, it's the same thing. And Lil George told him that it was basically like he was playing with Frank Zappa, said, "Hey, I want to go start a Southern rock band." And then Frank Zappa goes, "Oh, that'll be a Little Feat," like making fun of him for playing that kind of music. So that's how he took the name.
Well, that's where that came from. Holy shit!
That's not Beaksable.
I thought they wore like.
Are you beaksing me, Jesse?
Oh, was I? I didn't mean to. Sorry.
I read it on a meme.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So okay, we've talked about like the song that defines you and mission of the musician. Have you guys ever sat down and talked about like? Okay, this might be cheesy, but like corporations, they have like mission statements, right?
Right.
So has the band ever sat down and talked about something like that together? Like, this is what we want to accomplish as a band. Like, this is our thing.
Funny. When we had Jeff, our old manager, he actually tried to get us to create a mission statement. We never did it. To his chagrin.
To his chagrin?
Trust me, that's a Jeff word. To his chagrin.
We do more talking about the music, and the jams and stuff. I mean,
More complicated.
maybe we indirectly talked about mission statements without saying it.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think that you had like something written down that you carry in a briefcase with you. I just wondered, like,
That'd be pretty rad.
that would be
though.
rad.
Get it tattooed on your back.
Hold on.
But I mean, we've all had that experience at shows, and then you become the ones that are playing the music, and so there's got to be intention behind everything. And so I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like, yeah, there's always intention behind everything, whether it's conscious or not. So
Unconscious intention.
yeah,
Next album, Unconscious.
Yeah. That's great.
New thing.
One part
I
about
think it's.
you go, John.
No, go for it, Jesse.
I was just going to say that it dawned on me. I mean, one of the things that's really, I think the whole band will agree on this. One of the things is that we're all unified in the music and the direction of the music, the type of music we're writing. And, you know, when you're coming up and you're trying to jam and find bands to, like, you know, make it a music with, a lot of times, you know, there might be a great friendship or the players are great, but but they have a different vision of what the band is. And that's when the egos come out and then the band breaks up. And this is so special for me, being 46, being the way older guy in the band, because I only found this. I played in tons of projects and bands, but I've only been in one other like bigger band. And that's Purple School Bus from the 90s. And that was the same thing. We were all together, like, a band of brothers and all unified in our vision. And this is, so it's taken like 20 years for me to find that. I traveled all over the country to basically find this.
Wow.
Craigslist.
Having all the musicians on the same page, goes a long way, for sure.
I bet that's an amazing amount of power and energy that you guys are creating by not only playing the music together, but coming up with things in your head that you agree on. That's, I don't know what the word for that is.
Manifestation.
It's miracle.
Miracle.
It's God. It's the universe. It's like, it's an incredible gift.
Yeah, because I think we are so, like, prior to 2020, we were so into, like, just enjoying the music. But, like, if you really think about it, you guys are providing this. And my idea of what the musician's mission is you're providing such a intimate relationship with something that's not material. And it, like, if you're so sad, sometimes your partner can't comfort you, but if you put on your song, that will totally, like, just make you stop crying. And if you really are excited, you just got the job or you got the gig, and you go in your car and you turn up your favorite song and you drive fast and you, like, enjoy it. Like, you guys, the musicians, are creating this, like, person or this entity that we get to travel and be with during our most intimate times, like no one else could ever be.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Drop the mic on that one. Shit.
Hey, and on that note, look, so this is even funnier. My phone is about to die. Like right now, I just gave you a warning. Again, I'm in the there's nowhere for me to charge my phone.
Okay.
Super sorry. No disrespect. Super sorry. Love you guys.
Love you too.
I'll
man.
just talk until it hangs up, but it's gonna hang up any second.
Okay.
Okay.
Apple, we never got your answer. I forgot.
No, I'm just I see that outlet in the tree behind Jessie. I don't understand why it's not
You
using
can just plug it into the sun.
What's that? What did you say? I can't hear you. What did you say?
I was
Nothing.
just
He's messing with you.
I said plug into that tree.
Oh,
Okay, to me and the musician, I think, and not just musicians, but also like everybody's talking about the change in 2020. It's everybody's mission at this point. So that boiled down to one word is live. To keep living, keep life going, keep it, because this is, you know, this has been crazy what we've gone through, and we're all getting stronger, and it's our responsibility to live. Just keep on going and push through all this and become stronger from it.
Wow.
And musicians, to me, you guys talk about healing, life, all that. That boils right down to living too, and life. You guys provide, like right now, I think you guys as musicians, us as spectators, I feel beat up, man. My arm hurts. I need some Band-Aids. I need some help. You know, I can't wait for live music again. I'm hurting,
Dude.
not having it.
yeah. Oh my God. Jeez, dude. It's debilitating,
Yeah,
man.
you know, just kind of another aspect of, you
It's
know, what it is
debilitating.
about music. You know, that there's the songs and how you kind of relate to the songs, and you know what the songwriter has experienced to interpret that into a song. And then there's also, you know, the live music thing, which is really a totally different thing. Like the act of being in a room with a group of other people, and you're listening to the same thing, and you're all getting on the same frequency, on the same page, on the same level. And there's something really beautiful about that I know I'm missing these days, because, you know, I think it's really important. It's a really important thing to just all be digging the same music live together in the same room. You know?
Yeah, it's like you almost don't need the mission statement. It's like the mission statement is almost like so obvious to us. Like it's all starts from like when you're a kid and you pick up a guitar and you start playing it because it feels good and you want to like replicate these songs that you were listening to that are awesome and that you love. And then you start this band in your garage with your friends and it's like awesome. And then you realize, you become conscious that you're providing that beautiful experience for people that you cherish so much. Like I love going to shows. I love being in the crowd and being there with my buddies and watching some band just blow my mind. So you realize that you're starting to do that yourself, and you take great responsibility in that, and don't take it for granted. And you apply it, and you try to entertain people just like you've been entertained by bands in the past. So they're like almost doesn't need to be a mission statement, because it's almost like this unspoken common drive that we all have as musicians. So
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Unspoken
That's like
common
School of
drive.
Rock. Our mission statement's to rock.
Yeah.
Also,
What do you want to do with your life?
No, but David, you talking about that shared experience, man, it's so big. Like we can go to a little show down with 25 people or 50 people in a bar, or you can go to a stadium, and that experience that happens is the same thing. That moment of syncing up with the crowd and the crowd syncing with the band, that's a big deal, man. I can only think of one or two other things that happens, like maybe at a sporting event when you're cheering for the same team, that kind of happens. But at a concert, it's something completely different.
You can take it home with you.
Yeah.
You can listen to that on the way home and be just as pumped.
And I didn't realize, like, because I had never had it taken away from me. I mean, I knew I needed it, and I knew that it was important, and that it kept me going, but I didn't understand all the places that thing filled up inside of me until now. And it's like, if I ever took it for granted before, when it's back, I'll never again like feel like, oh, I don't feel like going tonight, or it's gonna be like, okay, I have the opportunity to do this. Like I'm out, I'm going. And just knowing that is out there waiting, and the batteries are all charged up and everybody's ready to go, man. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we all finally get back together.
I cannot wait.
Is there any news on your guys' end of what's going on, or things loosening up, or what's going on?
Things are starting to loosen up a little. Yeah, other areas more so than other areas.
Yeah, venues are starting to open back up. People are starting to do gigs again. Restaurants are starting to open up. The gigs that are happening though are like kind of smaller, like in smaller bars and things like that. But I mean, things are starting to roll. I think like the bigger venues might be like more like phase 4 type of stuff. But for example, like this venue we play at all the time, the Wayfair, that usually facilitates maybe like 250 people in the room, is going to be doing these like patio acoustic style events and things like that. So we might partake in something like that. So we're going to kind of definitely start to dip our foot into whatever we can.
I know Arizona too is opening up at like quarter capacity.
I
That's
saw
what's happening here.
yeah,
It's
same
a
thing.
Friday. It's the phase 1, not our county, but a lot of counties around. You know, the more populated ones are going to be a little slower. But venues opening, restaurants. In fact, this evening we're going to try going to one of our favorite restaurants down the street.
I actually went to the gym today. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Whoa.
First time back.
First time in
Wow.
4 months.
That's
It's crazy.
awesome.
I'm dying.
It's funny, like we said, I went to the gym today. Everybody's like, "Oh, woo!" Yeah, but think about
That, it's
I'm going to
crazy.
the show. Dude,
Like a show seems so much more sanitary and so much more reasonable than the gym.
I agree.
Like not spreading the coronavirus.
Depends on
Well,
the
it depends on how many pipes you share, I
I've
guess.
been to a lot of metal
Sweating in close
concerts that are
proximity.
not by any means sanitary.
I smelled some things, man.
Yeah.
I smelled some. So okay, so we talked about that. Okay, I got a cheesy one for you.
Okay.
Keep saying that.
I
They're
mean,
all
I've been
coming.
waiting. He was running some of these by me the other
Cheese.
day, and I was like, all right,
This one's cheesy, but
all right, let's get cheesy.
this is something that we've all talked about, and I think I know everybody's answer here already. But if you were an animal,
Oh my god.
I don't think you know my answer.
I do. Okay.
I
Anyway,
don't remember. Yeah,
if you
I
were
don't
an
remember telling
animal,
you
I want
this.
which one would you be, and why do you say that?
What's your spirit animal?
No.
No.
If you were an animal,
You could pick one animal.
yeah.
Which could be your spirit animal or not.
I'd pick a dog because my dog is just so in the moment and
Oh.
Dogs
he
do
doesn't care about anything except what's right in front of him. He's just like,
Yeah.
you know, eager to go for a walk. I just say the word walk and he goes crazy.
Us
say that
too.
too loud.
Yeah,
He'll
Darwin
hear it
will
on.
hear you.
Yeah, hear it through the headphones.
There's something to be said about that. Like that joy of life. That's the best, Garrett. You are totally a happy, cute, go lucky dog bringing sunshine to their owner.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next.
If I could pick one animal that I'd like to be, I guess it would be like an eagle. You know, just being able to get out there and go fly. That would be awesome.
Fly like an eagle.
That's a kick off.
Yeah, just like the song.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, this question is tough, man.
Okay, wait.
This is cheesy. This is like Velveeta.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, though, man.
Hold on one second. God, what would I be, man? What would I be?
It may be cheesy, but check this out. It
Yeah.
tells you something about the person that answers it in a way that they can't articulate it otherwise. There's a reason that they picked that animal, and it reveals something about their nature. So
Okay, since you're doing that, I gotta go with my gut. You're like, yeah, you're making this real right now.
Yeah.
I'm doing this again. It's kind of lame because like before Jesse came up with his answer earlier, I had the same thought. I had the same thought as Garrett as well. I'm such a dog guy. Like I love my dog so much, and I love my dog's personality, and I just love the way like they're just there to be there and hang and like go on a walk with you, and they get so stoked and like life is cool, and like it's just it's a great energy. It's my favorite energy, and that's so typical because like either like we have dogs or cats, so it's like one or the other. But
you ever see a
dogs are
bummed
just
out?
phenomenal.
I don't.
Yes.
Our dog is
There's
weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love your dog.
Yeah.
Oh, he's awesome,
Darwin.
but he can be.
Darwin's the best.
Darwin's moody.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
Yeah,
diva.
Oh, Darwin. He's
Little
literally
baby small
underneath the
Darwin.
table right now. I've got my foot on.
I could also say the same thing about my cat. All this cat thinks about is this string. I'll walk out of my room, and he freaking dashes right. His name's Dash. He'll dash right in front of me and just start meowing. And I could pick him up and pet him all over. He's like the coolest cat I've ever owned.
So
But all he wants is that string.
Are
He
the
used to wake up in the morning. He's like, play with me with the string. It's
It's called one-pointedness. That's it. Dalai Lama talks
I
about
say
that.
cats are very simple. They seem like it.
Apple, what's your answer?
I was gonna say I'm with Barsky on that. I've always, in my entire life, I've loved eagle. Nothing fucks with an eagle except for people. Eagle and being able to fly, and just, I mean, that's the reason I like the Philadelphia Eagles. I started that when I was 7.
Yeah, EAGL, yes, Eagles.
And I was like, I like Eagles, so I like the Eagles. And
Wow.
you know,
Maybe that's why I picked it too. Yeah, it might have something to do with it. Yeah, big Eagles fan too. So yeah.
yeah.
I would go with an owl for the same reason, like flying. I love
Who?
flying.
uh,
I would want to be able to fly, but also there's something about like the total like stealth. They're completely
Well, and they're
silent.
nocturnal.
They're
They're
nocturnal.
sneaky.
You can't find an owl.
No, you don't hunt owls.
No. An owl just
I'm an owl hunter.
exists in the like nether. It's
Dark.
I love owls.
That's awesome.
nocturnal.
Ryder wants to exist in the nether.
I do.
Mel?
That's awesome.
I have a hard time with these types of questions. I have to pinpoint what I would
Come
be.
on, you gotta play.
I guess I really think spiders are so cool. I'm
Well.
scared of them, but think
What the
about,
fuck?
listen, they go wherever the hell they want. They will creepy crawl into anything, a tall building, a tree. They freaking make themselves hang into nothing.
Okay, but what kind of spider?
A cool one.
Cool. Like
I just
the big
think
old
they're-
orb weaver that was living in our garage.
Well, I mean, a little bit more
That's not
ambitious
stealth.
than that one, but yes.
That's
Something-
that's okay.
Yeah.
I can
That's
picture
I'm
Mel.
scared.
I can picture Mel as like she said that, like a little one of the wolf spiders with all the eyes that are always hopping.
With a big hair.
Yeah. No,
they do amazing things with getting the webs together. I mean, that's amazing.
jump
They
like
throw a web together.
and they're so precise with their webs too. They're perfect.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
down with that.
Oh,
Do they have mommy long legs? Do those exist?
It's a mommy. That's what Mel is. She's a mommy long leg.
Mommy long legs.
I gotta go with a bear.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, a bear. And not for the obvious reason, because I dig that bears are like family creatures. Like the mom hangs out with the kids and stays with them until they're chill, and then they go off and do their own thing. And I love that they hunker down for the winter.
I was gonna say you want to hibernate,
And
I
fucking
fucking
sleep.
knew it.
I think that's so badass. Like, I'm dipping out for a season.
Do a lot,
I'm
man. I
done.
need the season off.
That's fucking cool.
If the weather's shitty outside, fuck it. I'm
Yeah,
staying in
fuck
bed.
this. I'm going to sleep. I'll see you in the spring.
Get off.
Yeah.
Ready to go to bed
Mhm.
for 3 months.
That honey jar.
That was so funny. You said bear. I was like, Aaron just wants to hibernate.
Yeah.
That's Aaron's favorite thing in the universe.
He does
is
love
sleep.
honey. He's constant. He's the one that eats most of the honey.
I think okay. Here's another cheesy. No, I'm just kidding. I think everybody loves to sleep, man. Who doesn't like sleeping? Sleeping's
That's
fucking
true.
great.
I love
love
sleep.
Sleep is the shit.
I do know people who
Sleeping's the
don't
shit,
like
yeah.
it though.
Real?
Yeah, it would, like my dad hates sleeping. Hates it.
Yeah, but your dad's crazy.
Yeah. Rory also hates sleeping, but you can also put her in the same category.
I get excited sometimes. Like,
I understand.
oh
the
shit, I get to go to
mentality.
bed tonight. Fuck yeah.
I understand the mentality of hating sleep. Like, I would also like an extra 8 hours every day to do things. That'd be cool. If I could have an option to like not sleep and never get tired, I probably would.
I'll pass. I'm a bear. Okay. So musicians spend an inordinate amount of time out on the road typically. And that's one of the things that's tripped me out about talking to musicians during the coronavirus thing. Like, I forget who it was we spoke to. I think it was, Mark Levy from Circles.
Nice.
He was like, you guys, I've never been home for this long. Like, I've never slept in my own bed for this many nights in a row. And that tripped me out. I was like, wow, that is a huge sacrifice for the music because like I just said, I love my bed. And to not have that, and also like there's a certain comfort and safety in coming home that you guys give up when you're out on the road, right? So is there something that you miss from being on the road right now other than playing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's cool that you say that too, because like, you know, if you walk into a venue and you watch a band and you don't think about the fact that those guys are away from their family and they're traveling and like they're sleeping in motels and like things like that, you're kind of disconnected from like what's going on like entirely. So it's almost like, yeah, PSA, like musicians are like away from their families and like it's hard. So it's cool that you bring that up. And it's like knowing that it like gives you so much of a more of a connection and like it humanizes the musician so much more. So yeah, I just think that's really cool that you bring that up. But like what I miss right now is rest stops and trucker stops. I'm going in there and like searching for snacks and looking for like Gatorades and stuff like that. Like that's basically life on the road. And like I am missing that right now.
Really?
Oh yeah, like when you go in and you're like, oh dude, do they have that yerba mate that I'm looking for? Like that's the highlight of your day because all the other 8 hours you're just driving, you know? So like obviously like hanging out with your boys and like laughing and doing stuff is awesome too, but like when you get to that trucker stop, you're like, oh dude, like I'm going in there and it's like a mission. So like, yeah, I'm missing like Loves right now and like Quick Stops and Wawas and like all of those like big trucker stops. Those things are
That's
awesome.
I miss my friends. I miss hugging my friends and meeting new people, and seeing new things going on. You know, being places I've never been.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I love home, of course, but there's something about being on the road that, you know, I'm definitely drawn to. I just love waking up in another town every day and you know, having to take a second to remember where you are and how you got there and everything. And, you know, instead of just kind of waking up in your same bed every day and then kind of going through the same routine every day. I kind of like staying away from like the same routine every day. Kind of like doing something different.
David, I was waiting for David to say pizza because you seem to love hunting down pizza everywhere you guys go.
Oh yeah. Well, food is that's key.
Yeah, it's just finding food that you like in every town. That's exciting, you know. Like looking up what do people in this town like. You know, John's really good at that.
That's
really good at like looking
Dave, you don't miss waking up next to me.
yeah, waking up is big spoon for Garrett. Yeah,
okay to call it bro, man. Yeah, right.
I miss feeling super run down and like lacking sleep and like dehydrated and like all those things. Like it's I miss it, you know.
You serious? I know what you mean. I miss, dude. I'm gonna say something super controversial right now. I miss the day after rolling.
The day after.
It's a great.
Is that the worst? Is that like when you lift weights? It's like not the day after you lift, but like the next day after it hurts like really bad. Is that the same with ecstasy?
Totally.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
Word for it, like the Monday or Tuesday blues or some shit. Yeah, what it's called. But yeah, there's a dip, a serotonin dip, and it takes, I think, 48 hours for you to really feel the punch.
Okay.
Like, I've woken up that day after and been like, wait, I don't, oh shit. Oh, cool, I got away with it. Sweet. Like, all right.
Then noon comes
Yeah,
and you're like,
get away with
oh, everything sucks and is bad.
I also miss like the anticipation of the day before a show.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about that, the butterflies and then the nerve, like the day you wake up when you know, especially when you know you're going to go to a festival.
Yeah.
When you're packing and everything and getting ready to go, and that whole build up to it, man. I miss that.
Sure.
And getting the butterflies, everything, just like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then the come down afterwards.
All of it. And it's funny to think that we would miss being dehydrated or burnt out. And fuck, man, I get it. I totally understand, man. This whole thing has been really weird. The mental side of the lockdown is tough for a lot of people, man. And I honestly, without music, I don't know how people do it. Like, I know people that don't like music. And I just wonder, what do you do? What do you do with yourself, man? Like, how do you make it through times when you're struggling? Like, that's my go-to for sure. And
Well, it's hard to get away from music. I mean, it's on every commercial, TV, radio,
Yeah.
whatever. If you're listening to anything, it's usually present somewhere.
just noticed you're wearing our shirt.
Yeah, he's got the defined.
Yeah.
Oh
way to
my
represent.
gosh.
Oh.
Representing.
I think I've been wearing this shirt for like 2 days straight now, maybe 3.
They're very
Simple
comfy.
run.
I want you guys to come to the house so bad and do a show. So
Oh,
bad.
We want that too. That'd
We've
be great.
talked about it so much.
When we were talking about like favorite shows and stuff, one of our favorites ever, and no matter like when Fish is opening for you guys and stuff, it's still going to be going back to McMiniman's down in Salem.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that was
And
so
that was
fun.
so
That's so
intimate.
much
It was
fun.
just us. We got to eat and hang out with you guys. It was just so fun, and you guys got to pull extra special stuff out of the bag that you might not have normally done at a bigger
Yeah.
venue. That one is always going to be. That was like the bonding of our two families. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
felt.
this show is really special.
Helped you guys load
Yeah.
up. and
Oh,
that was
so
one of my
fun.
favorite memories with you
That
for
was
Your
sure.
roadie dipped out on you.
Yeah, James disappeared.
Right.
No, we relieved James.
Yes.
That's right. We were there for him.
Yeah, he had a engagement. Player engagement.
Thanks for being cheesy with me. Man. I just thinking about talking to you guys, and I was like, let's just do something that's
Real quick, what's
Easy.
everyone's favorite color? It's a quick one.
Orange.
Ooh.
Blue.
Purple.
Orange.
Oh, 2 oranges.
Who's
Blue.
the other orange?
Blue.
Oh, you're orange too. I didn't know that.
And it's funny, blue's my other favorite color.
Yeah.
Orange and blue. Those are my two-
That's the opposite of orange.
Blue and
Something about-
It's changing right now. I really always love blue usually.
Well, and you have a blue and orange microphone over there.
Yeah, see, and I was gonna say, well, this one's yellow, but I was gonna say mustard, and so that's why I have these 2 colors, is because of blue and yellow.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Why?
For me, it's like because I'm born in October and I have this association with like Halloween and like the black and orange thing, and like
All
black
right.
isn't even a color, so
Yeah.
I'll go with orange.
Okay.
Purple's majestic. Well, and I have a lot. I mean, orange and purple are my favorite, but purple always has been
Yeah.
since a kid. I own a lot of orange stuff though. Wait.
I got
I
Star
love
Wars is why blue is my favorite
Okay.
because all the good Jedi had the blue light.
Wow. Right. You're a
That's a
Yeah,
good point.
Nerd.
nerd.
Nerd alert.
Yeah.
Oh,
I Midnight Blue. It's
Yeah,
not
I
quite
really love
black,
Navy blue
but
and
it's
red.
still blue, and it feels comfortable. That's why I like it. No,
It feels
you know,
It feels melancholy
yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
yeah.
like that.
There's just so much insanity going on, man, and I've been thinking a lot lately about the mission of the podcast, like what our voice is, and I really like it. That's why I wanted to do this with you guys, because we're family, and I just wanted to put something fun out, something nice that you don't, man, it's just, there's no political nothing. It's just a bunch of people talking that love each other and hanging out and spreading love out into the world and putting that vibration out, and so that it can ripple and get bigger and become a tidal wave, and we can all live together and be nice to each other,
Be nice.
and everybody can just take a breath and chill, man.
Absolutely.
That was the point. Anyway, thanks for playing, you guys.
It's been fun.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much. I loved all your
Yeah, thanks,
questions.
Garrett.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
we each get a consolation
Yeah.
prize.
Yeah.
You get the No Simple Road home
board
game.
Oh.
Totally do. I'm sending it to you. Where can everybody find out information, get merch, and all that stuff for you guys?
www.thehiggsmusic.com. You can go to our Facebook. You can go to our Instagram. You can go to our Twitter. Yeah, if you want to get merch, the easiest way is to go to the website, thehiggsmusic.com.
And what's
Yeah.
that album again?
Cool
And-
videos on YouTube and Facebook as well.
And the album
Instagram.
Rose Will Fall is available on all streaming platforms. And you know what? Don't just stream it. Go buy it, man.
Yeah.
These guys are all out of work right now, and they need
Garrett,
money.
are you still doing your little side hustle gig?
Still delivering cakes, yeah.
Yeah,
Right
right
on.
on.
Have you dropped a cake or had one smashed?
Yes, actually. So a guy pulled out in front of me, and I had to slam on my brakes.
Oh,
I had the cake box in the passenger seat. I usually have it in the back, but I only had one. So I had it in the passenger seat, and it flew to the floorboard.
Oh, what do you do?
I opened it up, and it was all just smashed. So I just started eating the cake and went back and grabbed another one.
And I went and smoked it.
I love
I
that.
quit.
You might as well at that point. Somebody's
Yeah,
got to
I
enjoy
know.
it.
I mean, they don't care. So
Well, I know that we had plans canceled with you guys before all this happened. And when it's over, the invitation is open.
Yep.
For you guys to come hang out and be in Portland, hang out with us.
Yep.
So
Can't wait.
hopefully that'll happen soon, man. Hopefully.
yeah, looking forward to it.
I love you guys, man.
I love you too, man. And just
Yeah, we love you
on
back.
a final note, I just want to say that one of my favorite episodes, because you brought up your father earlier, was the episode where you interviewed your dad. And for people who haven't listened to that episode that are tuning in now, you should go back and listen to that episode, because I think that gives great insight on like why you're such a great person, Aaron, and like why you're so creative and why you're doing what you're doing. So I just I wanted to mention that.
John, man.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, brother. That means
That's
a lot,
cool.
dude.
That is one of my favorite episodes too, John. Like
I haven't been able to go back and listen to that. Yeah.
I
Thank you, man.
Later.
No, and I lost my dad when I was 16, so I relate with you, man. I get where you're coming from, and I see how he's inspired you, and it's fucking awesome, dude.
Thank you,
Aw.
brother. I appreciate that. I love you guys, man.
that's right.
And we'll do this again soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thank you.
Good to see you
All you
guys. It
guys.
really is really good to see your faces, David, Garrett, John.
So good to see you guys.
Guys,
Thanks for
bye.
having us.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Yes. Aw. And then